Guys, urgent information coming out. Reuters just put out this bombshell news when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Let me just read this title really quick here. How the US is preparing a military staging ground near Venezuela. This is a very important update. Here's a picture. U.S. is getting really close to Caracas. Caracas is Venezuela capital. Let me just pull up some of this information here. Here's some pictures. Building up Caribbean bases. Some of the most dramatic infrastructure improvements are occupied at the former Roosevelt Road base, where crews are upgrading taxiways with improvement that analysts say will enable use by fighter jets as well as cargo planes. Wow. All right, so we're going to get to all this news here, guys. These are new pictures, important updates, what's going on out there. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. So it says here, several satellite photos published recently by Reuters shows continued preparation by the United States Armed Forces at commercial airports and air bases in the Caribbean as future escalation in the region appears more and more likely, with photos showing construction efforts to expand taxiways at the former Roosevelt Roads Naval Station in Puerto Rico as recently as October 20, alongside over a dozen tents being used to house service members. Additional photos also capture new construction at Henry E. Rawlinson Airport on the island of St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands, with efforts seen to expand the tarmac, which would allow additionally military aircraft to be deployed to the airport in the future, as well as the construction of a temporary site where an AN/TPS-75 air search radar is now deployed with the U.S. Air Force. We're going to get to all this news here, guys. These are new information that's coming out right now. All right, so just looking at that picture, let me zoom it in so you guys have a better view. All right, so you see Venezuela is in the bottom. Man, they are really close to Caracas. All right, so you got, look at this here, guys. You got the B-1B bomber right there. Caracas is right here. That's like, I guess that's like 600, 700 miles. And then you have Trinidad that has urged their military to be prepared for combat. All right, so Trinidad is right here. Tobago is right there. And then you have all these, I mean, you got all these ships, man. You got Puerto Rico, all these stuff here. And then way up there, you got F-35. Why is the F-35 fighter jets way up there? What's the nuclear submarine? Hold on, what's the nuclear submarine at? Where's the submarine? I don't know. I don't see the submarine. Yeah, I'm not seeing a submarine nowhere. Maybe it's in, I don't know, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, so, man, that's a lot of stuff going on there. Okay, so it says here, the United States military is upgrading a long abandoned former Cold War naval base in the Caribbean, a Reuters visual investigation has found, suggesting preparation for sustained operation that could help support possible actions inside Venezuela. The construction activity in the former Roosevelt Roads Naval Base in Puerto Rico, shuttered by the Navy more than 20 years ago, was underway on September 17 when crews began clearing and repaving taxiways leading to the runway, according to photos taken by Reuters. Now, it says here until the Navy withdrew from the facility in 2004. Roosevelt Roads was one of the biggest U.S. naval stations in the world. The base occupies a strategic location, offers a large amount of space for gathering equipment, one U.S. official said. In addition to the upgrades of landing and takeoff capability at Roosevelt Road, the U.S. is building out facilities at civilian airports in Puerto Rico and St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The two U.S. territories sit roughly 500 miles from Venezuela. Reuters spoke to 3 U.S. military officials and 3 maritime experts who said that the new construction in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands pointed to preparations that could enable the U.S. military to carry out operations inside Venezuela. Venezuelan President Nicolas has repeatedly alleged that the U.S. is hoping to thrive him from power. All of these things are, I think, are designed to scare the pants of the Nicolas regime and the generals around him, with the hope that it will create fissures. Now it says here to monitor U.S. military activity in the region over the last 2 months. Reuters photographed U.S. military bases and reviewed satellite imagery, ship and flight tracking data, and social media posts. The news agency also tracked movement of U.S. military vessels through on-the-ground reporting and open-source photos and videos. The military buildup in the region is the latest unrelated to disaster relief since 1994, when the U.S. sent 2 aircraft carriers and more than 20,000 troops to Haiti to take part in Operation Uphold Democracy. Since early September, the U.S. has carried out at least 14 strikes against the alleged vessels in the Caribbean and Pacific, taking 61. Now, the strike on alleged vessels have increased tensions with Venezuela and Colombia and drawn attention to a part of the world that has received limited resources within the U.S. military in recent years. Asked for comment on the military expansion in the region, the White House said the U.S. commander had promised on the campaign trail to take on the region's gang. Now, he has taken unprecedented action to stop the scourge of the gang that has resulted in the needless death of innocent sleeping giant citizens, the White House spokesperson Anna Kelly said in a statement to Reuters. Now, the U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean began in August with the arrival of warships, a nuclear-powered submarine, fighter jets, and spy planes. The 4th aircraft carrier strike group, with roughly 10,000 troops and dozens of aircraft and weapon system, is on its way from the Adriatic Sea. One of the 4 destroyers cleared Gibraltar on October 29, according to satellite imagery and ship tracking data. Now, presented with Reuters findings, the Pentagon did not respond to a request for comment. The governor of Puerto Rico did not respond to a request for comment. They tight-lipped. They're tight-lipped. They're, again, really tight-lipped. Something big is going to snap pretty soon, guys. I'm going to skip this part. I already read that. But here's a picture. That's the taxiway construction going on in the eastern part of Puerto Rico. So September 3rd all the way to October 20th, you see the construction work going on. In addition to the taxiway refurbishment, Reuters observed the installation of portable air traffic support and other mobile security equipment. Now, the satellite imagery taken on October 29 shows 20 new tents southeast of the runway near an abandoned aircraft. This is going to be bigger than Iran. I do believe so. This is going to be bigger than the operation that was done on Iran nuclear facility. Hernandez Roy, the CSIS fellow, told Reuters it was possible that the U.S. military was simply repairing potholes, but he added, if your focus is now going to be on Western Hemisphere, it makes perfect sense that you would want to reopen what was once a huge naval station and make sure that it can accommodate the range of airframes that the U.S. military uses. Reuters also found significant changes at Rafael Hernandez Airport, the second busiest civilian airport in Puerto Rico. By mid-October, the U.S. military had moved in communication gear and a mobile air traffic control tower, typically used to coordinate a surge of aircraft in war zones or after disasters. Mobile air traffic control towers are used to coordinate a larger number of aircraft moving in and out of a region, according to military experts. Satellite images show construction of an ammunition storage facility at the airport, although the expert Reuters spoke to said it was not immediately clear what weapons could be stored there. That's very important, Kaysen said. They could be used in the near term for an operation against Venezuela, which I believe is going to be an operation against Venezuela. But he acknowledged that the facility could also signal long-term planning against counter of the gang operation. On a nearby island of St. Croix, satellite imagery taken in September and October also shows construction activity at a civilian airport. The images from Henry E. Wilson Airport show active construction near the apron, where planes are parked and service, and improving aprons could allow more U.S. military aircraft to park and refuel, the U.S. official told Reuters. There's a lot of information in this one here. So they're building the taxiway. They're getting everything ready. This is the St. Croix Island. And I do believe there's a possibility Vieques is also in the list too. Now let me show you some of these pictures here, guys. It's a very long article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just showing you some of these very important images. But shipping in U.S. naval firepower. So according to Reuters reporting and U.S. officials, the U.S. President administration since August has deployed at least 13 warship, 5 support vessels, and a nuclear submarine to the region from various naval bases and global deployments, including the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier, the largest vessels of its kind. 8 warships remain in the region along with supporting vessels. Here's some more pictures. Now I'm going to leave this link in the description box if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures in this one here. Wow. There's a lot of pictures on this one here, guys. Like I said, I'm going to leave this link in the description box, but this is a preparation here. All this stuff out there, guys. Everything is out there, and they building the base and stuff like that. I do believe that there's going to be a massive operation pretty soon. Man, no wonder Nicholas is going nuts. Wow. I mean, guys, with Iran, it was different. Iran, I mean, there was the Diego Garcia Island, and we didn't do crazy repairs and runway stuff like that. We sent, I think it was a couple of B-1 Spirit planes and bunker busters. We dropped the bunker busters and the submarine fire Tomahawk after that, but nothing like this here. Nicholas, what have you done? Mm-mm-mm. I'm just gonna show you the picture, guys. The rest I'm gonna leave in the description box. Once again, the B-52 bombers, we already talked about that. But boy, oh boy. Ooh. Warriors did amazing job on this news article here. Like I say, guys, the rest I'm just going to leave in the description box. But these are very important updates. Oh, I got one more and that's it. The P-8 Poseidon flight. But this is where we at right now, guys. Like I said, I do believe something big is going to snap pretty soon out there. And Nicholas, he's begging Russia, begging China, begging Iran, please send me equipment. They know. They're like, Nicholas, you're on your own. You're on your own. But I heard that it seems like Russia's going to help them out. But yeah, this is not going to look good for them too. Donald's going to be slapping sanctions on them and they stick their nose in this operation here. Anyway, guys, share the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Till next time later. Peace.